Be still.
What you see is not a test. The sky will light before you. You'll be lost and found again. This is only good for you. Don't try to understand the colors in my hand. Just close your eyes and I will guide.
I don't know about you lot, but that pretty much describes a day in the life for me. Okay, so on the premise of that won't loop. Brilliant. Right, okay, so what's tonight about? Well, first of all, it's my first rant, so be nice. If you can't be nice, be really, really, really bad, yeah? Okay, my name is Jay Abbott, as you may have already guessed. I am the founder and managing director of a small boutique consulting organisation called Advanced Security Consulting. Whatever you want, just ask. Yes, I know it's cheesy, but hey, what the hell. Prior to setting up this little jaunty venture a little while ago, I was head of threat and vulnerability management for PricewaterhouseCoopers. Prior to that, I was head of IT security for Electronic Arts. Prior to that, I was a dirty low-life contractor. Prior to that, I was a less successful consultant. And prior to that, I was in short trousers. So, that's me. Okay, my background, really, really simple. Aside from all those jobs, I wrote my first line of code when I was 7½, and it was on a Commodore VIC-20. I wrote my first virus when I was 12, and it got me thrown out of my computer science class. I have no GCSEs, but I've got kind of a C and R. I don't know that quite well. Didn't do the college uni thing. That's me, all right? So that's, you know, feel free to heckle now, because I heckle from the streets, okay? Brilliant. So, what is tonight about? Tonight, okay, when I was asked to do this rant thing, I was said, we want you to come do a rant. Sounds great, what's a rant? Well, you know, come and do a presentation. Alright, okay, well, I can wheel out one of the many, many presentations that I do many, many times a year. You know, live hacking, you know, let's show some crimeware kits, let's do what everyone else does. And then I thought, actually, no, the clue's in the title. RAN, Risk and Network Threat. RAN. No, I just see RAN. I don't see Risk and Network Threat. I see a soapbox, and I'm not afraid to claim it. So, for all of you that I offend, I apologise in advance. For all of you that want to join my team, get on board, alright? I have a pint, it is not my first. So, without further ado, throughout my career, I've been doing this for about 17 years now, since I failed college. What I've seen... What I've seen is that, yeah, it's been doing that. I'm currently using it as a 15-minute timer. So, what I've seen is this constant battle between innovation, okay, people trying to do really cool stuff to move things forward, and security. And what I mean by that is that, for the most part, when we think about security, we think about a negative thing, we think about legislation, we think about guidance, we think about governance, we think about policy, risk, compliance, all these wonderful, wonderful things. We think about techie stuff too. We think about hacking and all that cool, fun stuff. But for the most part, we think about that. None of that really works with the whole innovation point of me. Okay? Because, you know, let's think about it. How the hell do you legislate innovation? Thou shalt innovate. Crack on. You know, it just doesn't work. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through some aspects of this. I've got some notes, so I apologise for turning away, but it's the only way of stopping me actually going off on a complete tangent. So, let's look at this. Threats. Threats innovate all the time. Every new threat is pretty much an innovation over the last threat. Okay? So there is innovation in security, but hang on, it's on the wrong side of the fence. That isn't helping us. Okay, it's kind of cool, but it isn't helping us. Look at Stuxnet, great example. We all know it, we've all read the documentation, we've all heard it to death, so I'm not going to give you any examples. Other than cracking piece of innovation. Genuinely, I take my hat off to whoever decides to stake claim over it. Absolutely amazing bit of code. Love it. Some of the things it did, brilliant. Why can't we see that innovation on the other side of the fence? It just doesn't happen. We're too busy trying to regulate the life out of it. Okay? So, another example. 10 years ago, hacking was difficult. Yeah? Now it's pay-per-click. You know, you can get hacking as a service. You know, forget software as a service, crime as a service. That's this year's bloody buzzword. You can go online right now, enter a target and get it DDoSed. Enter your, you know, credit paid system here, PayPal equivalent rip-off based out of some country that won't nick you. Okay, that's the reality of it. That's innovation. That's innovation in security, and yet again, it's on the wrong side of the fence. Okay, it's not helping us. It's causing us a problem. Do you know what? It bloody well does, and I really wish it didn't. So to all of the employers in this room, including my good self, of course, feel free to give everyone a pay rise tomorrow. Pull this back to the basics. I'm going to look at the threat. Okay, I've got an environment. It could get under attack. These people might attack me. They might attack me like this. They might do that. They might do that. Let's do some threat assessments, people. Let's take that data. Let's apply that data to the control, to the actual infrastructure, and say, well, what are the controls we need to protect against those particular threats? And then, to my man's reference there, the monitoring. How are we going to monitor? How are we going to real-time detect and understand what's going on in our environment? How are we going to do that? And then, how are we going to respond when it happens? Not if, when. Because
doing all that.
yeah, no, brilliant, excellent.
So do you think organisations have got the understanding and I guess more the resources to find out where their data is and where their critical data is?
It sounds expensive.
How do you audit something that's fluid?
Absolutely, you can't. This is my point. This is where our jobs get difficult. Yeah, this is where actually we're happy to do an easy job. I know I used to be. I used to be happy with an easy 9 to 5.
Eliminate the users.
Sorry, eliminate the users. Yeah, we use machine guns and machetes. Yeah, that's my personal preference. This is perfect. You know, we'll have the Daleks. But essentially, if we take this approach, it's going to be really, really hard. We're not all going to be able to do it on our own. We might need help. I'm not going to do a plug. We might need help. If we do need help, that's going to need funding. People aren't going to want to fund that because they want to fund the shiny stuff that's got leads that they put in the data center. It's tangible assets. They like tangible assets.
But you
intangible advice, they don't like.
That is, you already answered. You asked the question, why are those standards being followed? Whether or not I ascribe to them. You're not looking at a case. You said, I get audited controls that no longer are relevant. That is the problem. But we're not determining, in general, not in specificity, some of us may determine this, what we're getting audited to. No one's coming along and saying, you shall be audited to actually providing security. They're saying, there's a standard, government says it's good, go for it.
Right, okay,
So the problem is that security domain as a whole as precedent.
I agree. I concur with your synopsis of the issue.
Which
The
is
issue
why,
as such.
you know, we're outside the government, we don't go stuff off and we do what we want.
Yeah,
which is
right.
why we're
So just for the room, okay, so the issue that you've raised there is that actually we're being audited against standards, so reiterating what I said, we're being audited against standards that are irrelevant, that don't take the potential risk. What is the job of an auditor? Okay, now I've worked...
To find things wrong and justify their presence.
I worked in an audit organisation for 6 years. Okay, the job of an auditor is to get through the day without getting fired and get promoted. The job of an auditor in the context of your environment is to audit against a standard they've never come across before. Okay, so they need paint by numbers. The reality is, if as an industry, okay, I'm not saying this is a solvable problem, I'm telling you this is the soapbox I like to stand on. If, as an industry, we all start singing from the same tune, we all start saying, screw you, Mr. Auditor, we'd all love to, let's be honest, okay? Why don't you audit me against the threats that I determine? This is the process I went through. Audit the process I went through. Audit the outcomes.
But we have to know what we're doing.
Sorry, hang on.
Audit to a standard
Yeah.
in order to get contracts.
Okay.
And conversely, I agree. It's a great tool, the ISO for the hackers, because they know, they go look at that standard straight away and they know what controls we've got and what we haven't got.
Yeah.
So they've kind of got most of the information, but without it.
There's no hacker in the world that will look at the ISO standard and your application. My point with the ISO is great because you can set a statement of applicability. You can ISO a tin of beans in your code. Put a plaque on your website saying, we rock, we got 27001. That's why I don't like ISO. The ethos of it works. Plan, do, check, act. the management system, the governance structure. All is really, really, really good. That all works really well. Unfortunately, what I can't give you the answers for, and I'd love to be able to, is that the industry is set up to fail. This is why security has been beating the crap out of innovation for as long as I can remember. How are we going to change that? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm here to divide the opinion and be Marmite. Okay? So, you can either agree with me or don't agree with me. I really don't care. Okay? But I do accept payment in beer. And if you would like to debate this point with me further, please do. One
There's a
point.
fundamental flaw. If we go back to the passphrase issue,
Yeah.
there's a fundamental flaw in the logic
Go
because
for it.
we're looking at a technical issue, a technical resolution to a user interface problem. Well, essentially a social problem as well.
Yeah.
Is that how do we get users to accept a security solution, and how do we make the security solution user friendly?
You've missed the point.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've worked with users, and I've actually worked in projects where we've gone from smart card logon back to user passwords because the users couldn't use the smart card logon. It was intrusive to their
May I retort? Thank you. So, what you've described is several technical solutions, okay, which you've gone through in argument of your own problem. If you go back to what I said, password, passphrase. A password in any form of complexity, aside from our dictionary word, is counterintuitive to the human race. Full stop. Your social issue. They will never accept anything complex based upon that premise. Full stop. Okay? That is, we all know that. We all understand that. Trying to get a user to remember 12 random characters, you may as well just go whistle in the wind. You're going to get the same effect. However, change the way you're expecting to approach that to a phrase, a long phrase. Did you know, in the context of brute forcing a hash of any type, okay, forget about salting the hash, for every extra character, it is 60 times the amount of time that it took from before.
But so it's a contextual problem, right?
I'm just curious. Now, I've cracked a 13-character passphrase in 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was maybe
Using what, rainbow tables or
No,
GPU
using
offloading?
right, using an NVIDIA card.
Yeah, so GPU offloading.
Right, so that took 11 seconds for a passphrase.
Yeah, no,
So
that wasn't a passphrase.
that wasn't a word.
That was 2 words.
So we, yeah, all right, it was 2 words. Okay,
Well,
so,
the
so
phrases
that
I
was
know that
18
2
months
words
ago.
long, I'll bring that
Yeah,
phrase.
that was 18 months ago, right? Giving Moore's Law, right? So where's this going to take you in 5-6 years' time? You know, are we going to have to remember the lyrics of songs for our passphrases?
The minute you type it in.
Yeah.
To be honest, if we started to do future predictions 5 years out, at that point I believe that biometrics are going to be the way forward. I'm not talking about fingerprints, I'm talking about actual ability to interact with the end user as they are. Now, the problem is now is where we're dealing with the problem. Now in the next 3 years. Do you think in 3 years' time, given GPU offloading, that a 20-character password, given the time it takes, right now to break a 22-character password takes 406 trillion years. Standard brute forcing, standard desktop. There are no rainbow tables in existence that long. To compute them, not that long.
20 times a day.
Not that long. 22 characters isn't that bad.
You know, you're talking about innovation.
Yeah.
It will catch up.
No. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Valid point raised. We're talking about point. No. Yes. Right. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Right. One final point. Very interesting point. It is an arms race. The point I've just given, this solution, is relevant now. Is relevant to a problem now. There is an arms race. It is not the innovation of tomorrow. Yeah? I'm not standing here for 1 second and stating, I am innovating and I have all of the answers. Well, that is, sorry sir, let me finish. That is an innovative solution to our problem relevant now. Given Moore's Law, in 5 years' time, that solution won't work, but something else will. Do you know what?
But if you're brave enough to walk into an organisation and say to its users,
Yep.
as of today, please use a 22-character password,
Never worked.
then take my hat off.
Phrase,
Because I
not
get
word.
sacked.
Phrase, not word.
Whether it's a phrase or a password, it's 20 characters.
Okay, I challenge all of you to try it. No, into a passwords versus passphrases debate. It was inevitable. I did my best. Now, I'm going to stop you all there and say that we will continue this debate one-to-one over drinks. Because we are vehemently off the topic.
20 drinks.
You're fine. I heard 3 drinks. Did anyone hear 3 drinks? I heard 3 drinks. As I said, sir, I heard them from the streets. So, my perspective. We, including me, are doing this all wrong. We, including me, need to tear up the rule book and start again.